Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Chatting with Charity.
Hey everyone, you are now tuned in to Chatting with Charity.
Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Chatting with Charity. I'm your host, Charity Wyatt, and listen, come on in the chat room and let's get this party started, all right? So, here's what we want to do. We want to start off by having you guys like, love, share, tag some people to come in and chat with you. Come on in and go over to YouTube and subscribe to Chatting with Charity. And also go over to the Facebook page of Chatting with Charity and go and add us as friends. And listen, you'll be in you'll be eligible for a giveaway for next week, right? So this week we had Miss Idell Shepherd. She was the winner last week. Let's see, she got a gift card, an Amazon gift card. And last week, Miss Yolanda James was winner of a free turkey for Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm just in the giving spirit, so you might want to come on in. When you come in. I'm chatting with Charity, and let's get this party going, right? Listen, I am thankful to everyone that come in and tune in with us every week. I know you're used to coming in on Tuesday, but today we did something just a little different. We decided to come in on Monday. So today I have a special guest. As you see, our title is Man of Many Hats. So we have one of the coldest barbers in Natchitoches, Louisiana. I just got to say he's my husband barber. He's been my son's barber since birth. He's Mr. Producer's barber. He's man, he just all over. Like he just everybody. I mean, he's hot. And he's anointed with these hands. I'm gonna just let you know, right? So here we have Mr. Adam Wilson. Adam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Great. I'm so
Yes.
happy to have you. We've been
Glad to
knowing
be
each other
here.
for a good while. And God placed you in our lives right at the nick of time.
Yes,
And
yes.
so y'all, Adam came in. It was like this. Adam was look, house calls. It back in the day. Like, look, we need somebody to cut these heads. And Adam was coming in and I tell you, after that, God just kind of blew him up and his business just skyrocketed and I'm really proud and happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Adam, let's talk. Introduce yourself and let everybody know about what you do and your business and you know.
Okay. For those that don't know, first of all, I don't think I'm the best barber out there.
I do.
I want to stay humble.
Stay
Uh,
humble, but I got to give you your title.
so I'm Adam Wilson. Um, I'm married. My beautiful wife, Katie Wilson. We have 3 kids together.
Shout out to Katie.
I attend Freedom Life Church.
Shout out to Freedom Life.
I also, as you know, what people really don't know, I am a licensed cosmetologist and
Come
I
on.
specialize in hair cutting.
Come on.
I also cut hair at the nursing home.
All right.
We recently, this school year, we're now working at the school. We do classes at school. We also help with like the boys and girls basketball practices right now. So things are going really, really good this year.
That's
And
good.
and all it was is just, you know, just giving everything up and giving it to God.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's kind of go to that. Let's talk about how what all did it take, or for you to just give everything up and just give it to God. Somebody needs to hear that.
Well, let's put it like this, honestly, just men in general,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna talk about me.
Okay, go ahead.
We as men can be stubborn,
Yes, and women too.
and it's like you see it, but it's like you want your way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
your way don't work, but you still push so much harder for your way,
Yeah.
and you don't realize how much you're pushing yourself away
Yeah.
from not just my wife, not just my kids, but even from God.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then now my focus is more on work as God.
Yeah.
That's my God now.
I love it.
Focusing more on work and what I can do working, trying to please work. But what I never knew and realized, like when I finally surrendered,
Yes, yes, yes.
I never knew like the way God would direct things. And I knew what he wanted me to do. But when I finally like stepped out to do it, I never knew like, okay, now I'm cutting hair full time for the first time. A lot of people don't
Come
know that
on.
because I've always had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Because that was me not being, let me see what word I want to use. That's like I'm not encouraged enough in myself, not confident enough to step out in faith
Yeah.
to just operate just in the shop.
Right,
I always
right.
wanted a crutch, but God been wanting me to step out to do it full time. And when I finally did it full time, I didn't know the plans God had for me was not just cutting hair,
Mm.
So he took me further, just, not just cutting hair. Like, I remember Katie calling me and it's like, they need somebody at the nursing home. I'm like, really? Like, she like, yeah, that I think God showing us you making the right move going full
Right.
time.
Absolutely.
And it didn't stop there. And it's like, okay, I'm going to church. I'm loving it. They see I'm there, and it's like, hey, we need you in the ministry now.
Come on.
So yeah, you may see me in the parking lot greeting. You may see me ushering, or you may even see me in the kids ministry.
I love it.
So it's like I'm loving where God is taking this.
Yes.
And it's not just for me, but even our marriage.
Yes.
It's going a whole nother level. It ain't been a year yet.
My
So-
God. So like it's safe to say that once you fully surrender and give your all, God will open doors, and not only just open doors that you never expected, but he'll also he'll start leveling you up more. Like
Yeah.
cuz that's so true. I can say with us, like we started seeing, like when we just really started surrendering and giving it all to God, things started leveling up for us as well. So that's normally how it happens. So how can you what can you tell a person that has dreams or that knows they're supposed to be doing something full time, but they kind of hesitate. They scared to take that leap of faith. What could you tell that person?
I would tell that person this: if you know what you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Don't do like I did. I knew what to do, and I hesitated for so long till
Yeah.
God made me sick.
My God, it definitely happens.
Like, it got to the place where I was working, God make me sick every
Mm,
time I go,
Jesus.
and I'm still trying to work through it. Like, no,
Mm,
not yet, not yet.
mm,
And I never felt like that, but looking at it now, it's like, wow, guys, like this long I've been just disobedient, not listening to
mm.
you to step out, and here I am trying to operate in manpower,
My God.
you know, limit power, limited power, and try to do things on my own and making things so much worse, you know, in my home, my marriage, and what's crazy is like man, if you know God gave it to you, you know, go after it.
That's
God,
right.
like God will show you. You keep waiting, you gonna get these feelings, and you won't like it.
That's the truth.
Like it's horrible. It's
That's the truth.
horrible.
That's the truth. Cause like I knew when it was time for me to let go, I literally started getting sick. That's when I started seeing my body like changing. And like I remember I told them matter of fact a couple of Sundays ago, I said I remember sitting in my desk and I told God, God, I'm about to lose my entire mind, not knowing what was really happening naturally. And I started feeling really sick as well. And then all of a sudden it's like I said, okay, God, if you want me to let this go, I know you my provider, but if you want me to let this go, like confirm it to me. And lo and behold, I got really sick and I could not go to work for 3 weeks straight. And after that, that's when my mom called me and she was like, Charity, I think it's time you got to let it go.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, oh no, like I was like, really? I gotta do this. Like, I like having this. I need this.
Yeah.
And I remember
Yeah.
God telling me, I told him that God told me, on that desk, in the desk, he said, the problem is you want what you don't need.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all this you doing, you putting yourself through all of this and you don't really need it. And that's not even what I told you to do. You just did this because you were capable, you were good at it, but it didn't mean that that's what I called you to do.
Yeah.
And so I know exactly how you feel, because it will, like, disobedience will literally make you sick.
Yes.
It really will. It will make you
Yes.
sick. And you'll keep feeling like that until you actually get into your position. You know,
Yeah.
like, even, okay, I'm slowly moving into it, then stuff start easing up. But really, until you fully get into that position,
Yep.
you don't have no easiness, and like I say, everything, like you said, everything will start like falling apart until you fully surrender and get in what you need to get into. So that
That's
was
it.
really good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you opened up and talked about that because people really need to understand the importance of surrendering, like fully surrendering, and
Yes.
how obedience really does open things in your life, and like you say, it does take you to different levels.
Yes.
So what are some of the different hats that you wear from day to day?
Uh, well, kind of like what I said earlier. Of course, I work at the shop. Um, so every week or every other week, could have at the nursing home. Serve at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Work in the kids ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Greet,
Mm-hmm.
usher. I work at the Freedom Life Academy School.
Okay.
Me and Katie, we do an elective on Tuesdays.
I love it. What's the
Uh,
elective y'all do?
Like me, I have 2 blocks of fun and games with the kids.
Oh, I
So I have
love that.
younger kids and I have older kids, and Katie, she does music.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's pretty fun. And it's like, we take that, and it's like every week we come up, with a plan and ideas,
I love it.
and we just go with it.
Yes.
Now for me, it's much easier. I'm just making up games as we go.
Right.
But I try to make, I try to do games where get everybody involved.
Right.
So,
Do you know working with children it sets the stage for what God has for you next? Like that's just how it is. Our church was built on just 75 kids and 3 adults.
wow.
My parents did a church on just 75 kids and 3 adults, not knowing, where it would go. That just stepped out on faith.
Yeah.
And then now look at what's happening, the legacy, things like that. Like, if you can work with children, man, that touches the heart of God, working
Yeah.
with children,
Yeah.
It really does. So I'm proud of y'all. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about as a husband and a father, how important is it for you and your wonderful wife Katie to communicate while raising your children and having demanding careers?
Well, always communication is key.
Yes, it is.
Communication is vital.
It is.
I mean, without that communication, you don't know what you're gonna get yourself into.
It's true.
And I say that because it's like, you see both sides of it. If we don't, communicate from the smallest things, like let's say today, like I didn't fully communicate about if I'm gonna bring the kids to school this morning,
Okay.
and that was my fault,
Uh-huh.
because I couldn't think it all the way through, like what all I had to do today.
Yeah.
And that can cause things, but one of the things when it comes to communication is like making sure we're on the same page, because with the kids, they might not say it, but they're always watching.
Yes, they do.
They understand the body language.
That's right.
They understand the tone of our voice, the
So true.
attitude, the way we
Mhm.
walk. They may play around, act like they don't know anything, but they always watching.
And they feel it.
Yeah. So it's like when we are communicating, we on the same page and we executing things that need to be done with the kids. Like it's like, God, the devil ain't got a chance,
Come on.
But it's like when the communication is not there, that's when the enemy
Right.
try to turn that into his playground
That's true.
with our minds. It's like
So true.
It's like she ain't gonna do this today. No, she ain't gonna help you with that.
That's true.
He probably ain't gonna feel like doing that. I ain't gonna ask him anything. I'm gonna let it be. I do it myself. And
Yeah. That's true.
and that's just how it is. As far as communication. But one thing though, like we've been big on, it's been helping, is trying to let the kids know like what's going on for the week. Like we got a calendar at the house. I write on it for every month. Try to go over what's going on. 2 of our kids that older, so we have this app called Cozy,
Okay.
and it's all synced with us, and it's like everything like that's playing through the months, like we all can see it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's just little things like that to try to
Yeah.
keep us all on the same page, keep us on board.
Right.
So
Family organization.
yeah,
Kind of like we just use the calendar on, Apple and just share it. Because Carlton and Carl, I be needing to know what they got going on their phone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
doing the most. So, like, we kind of do it like that. But I love that because that right there can change the whole family dynamic. It really could. Because like you said, with communication, it does matter how you communicate and to make sure you do. Because when you do communicate, like it's so much peaceful.
yeah,
It's peaceful. When when you don't communicate, like you say, it opens the door for the enemy to do, a lot of things. And so it's kind of
Oh,
where
yeah.
he be wanting marriages to be honest, where he want families to be. But
oh yeah,
it ain't gonna happen, right?
That's it.
So
That's it.
absolutely. So what are some things that can be challenging in balancing God, family, ministry, and your career?
Um, when it comes to that, now as far as me personally, when it comes to like any challenges, it's always, and I'm just saying humanly speaking, just
Yeah.
for me, it's just if I'm used to a routine,
Yeah,
that's what I'm used to.
yeah,
But if it's something new added to it or something I ain't never done, or maybe like even coming on here on the talk, on the podcast today, it'll throw me off for a little while because it's
Yeah.
like I don't forgot about what's going on tomorrow. We got a game.
Right,
We got a game on Friday. I'm like, I'm stuck right here, right now. Like,
right.
I ain't 6:30, but it's like 6:30 in the morning. My mind here,
Yeah,
because it's just out of my usual habit.
yeah,
But I believe like to execute and overcome those challenges, I always challenge myself like before anything. Like I get up early. My first thing is to always challenge myself to spend time with God.
absolutely.
And that right there like sets my day. Anything I'm nervous about, or
That's
anything
good.
anxious, or anything that's been bothering me, I give that to God. We have that conversation. I spend that time to worship. I
Yes,
spend that time to read,
yes,
and then I end it in prayer, and then, I kind of go about my day.
right,
So
right.
I'll say, with doing that, that helps me every day.
That's good.
So that
It keeps you balanced.
that's it.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. So, with being one of the best barbers in Natchitoches, a lot of times you can get really busy, right? What is some wisdom you've learned from when you started that helps you now prioritize time for your wife and kids?
Ooh.
That's a tough one, huh?
I'm thinking about when I first started.
hmm
When I first started, I remember we never met yet,
hmm
and like I'm single, and like during that time, it's just it's green light.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
go.
I'm starting at 6 o'clock. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut until I'm tired,
Yeah.
and I do it. I just keep doing it, and I I remember me and Katie started dating, and like, man, we was eating one time, and it was a little late. And I got a message like, what's going on? Like, oh, somebody want a haircut. She was like, you do that at night, this late, and this and that. It's like you might want to change that, kind of organize your time with. And I started thinking about it. I was like, it is kind of late,
Yeah.
But my mind was always set on just, go get it, go get it, go get it.
Yeah.
So, and that's just how it was. I would try to cut as many people as I could and then go to my other job. And I do as much as I can.
Right.
I'll say now, think a lot of things have changed. And like, I'm not on here advertising for nobody.
That's true.
Nobody.
You're not.
I'm just now it's just appointments. I was at a job where I gotta work their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm working my schedule. So
Right.
so I make, my schedule to work according to what's going on with my family
Yes.
or anything with church or any events. I schedule now to make things work for
Yeah.
my family and work for church. And other things that's going on outside of that. If it's something we need to attend to,
Right.
I make sure to, keep myself available for that. I don't overwhelm myself anymore like I used to, and just try to satisfy everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
because you'll run yourself thin trying to, although you're a go getter, but the Lord sent Katie in to kind of help organize you, get you together. She the helpmate. You know what I'm saying? She come in and
helps,
she-
she helps a lot. I mean, like if it weren't for her with the suggestions and things she made, like I'll still be going.
Yeah.
Like
See,
I'll still
she
be
had to
going.
step in, be that Proverbs 31 woman. Like, look, like this what we finna do. Like you gonna have to slow this down right here. Let's readjust some
Yeah,
things.
like I will work my butt off, then come home and like no communication,
Mm-hmm.
no
Yeah.
talk. Hey, that's it. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I make money, it's like if I see things they wanted, I just be like, this will pay off the problems. Here, you wanted
Yeah,
that tablet this year?
that's
Here
true.
you go. Oh, you want it? Here you go.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thinking in my mind, hey, I'm buying time.
Yeah. Right.
But what is that doing really?
Yeah, that's true.
it's like they're getting the materials, but they're not getting who I am.
Right.
You know,
And the love, because like that time means a lot. You know, um, they
very
can
valuable.
say, yeah, they can say, oh man, when I have something, my daddy there. You know what I'm saying? Or stuff like that. That matters more than money. I mean, I can attest to it because um my my father was, he did a lot. He did a lot with church and stuff like that and everything. And some things I had going on in school, he wouldn't come because he had we had services. Back then, we was have church every day, like every service. Let me tell you, um, it was Monday night prayer. You had church twice on Sunday. Monday night prayer, Tuesday night Bible study. Wednesday night we made up some instructions in the word. Same thing as Bible study. It was just like, only thing is we just wouldn't separate going to different classes. I mean, we was taught, we was trained well
Yeah,
in Thursday night prayer, Friday night prayer, or something with the youth or something like that. Saturday, all day Saturday, practices and then end with prayer and then you back around again Sunday. It's like, and then I was like, oh man. So then when it's time for, us to do that, then my mom was the one that kind of did a lot of it. But my daddy, he had to be at the church. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so one day I just had to tell him, look, I want you to be there too. Like I'm appreciative because my mama's always there. But, I had to tell him one day, like, look, I want you to be there too. Like, I think I was getting an award or something. And then that's when I think it set in with him. And ever since then he didn't miss anything. So that matters. It really does. Like family, I think sometimes we don't understand family is first. You know what I'm saying? We got
yeah,
to make sure that that's what God built family first before he did anything.
yeah,
So we got to make sure we are taking care of family before we do everything else. We have those demanding careers, we have that stuff, but I like that Katie came in. I like that. I like that she
yeah.
came in and she kind of helped you out. Sometimes we as women can kind of bring a little light bulb to y'all
Oh
sometimes,
yeah, cause I was ready to maximize my single life. Like I was getting ready to buy me a little work car,
See what I'm
a
saying?
motorcycle. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
just gonna be me and my daughter, and that was
Right,
it.
right.
Like I'm about to enjoy this single life,
Right.
and then boom.
God said, we gonna rearrange that real quick.
Slow him down right now.
Right. I love it. So now, as it relates to ministry, explain how you feel God has matured you by being involved in your church.
Oh man, I gotta say it like this. I don't think anybody can grow in the word. And I was against this for a while, but I don't
Mhm.
think anybody can grow in the word
Hmm.
if they not connected to a local church.
I agree.
And that's one thing, and this me talking about me. Like
Hmm.
it's one thing you ain't going to church and yeah, I watch it live. Oh, I listen to it here and there. I read my word,
Hmm.
but it's different when you get connected to
That's
your
right.
local church
That's right.
and you serve with your brothers, your sisters, and y'all can really relate and share some things and
Yeah.
encourage one another, uplift, share some things that hurt, and not knowing that other person been through it. And they
Right.
got some stuff they can give you and help you go through it, you know.
Absolutely.
So you gotta be connected. You
Gotta be.
you want to grow, you gotta be connected.
Absolutely. The Bible say for us not to forsake ourselves, with the assembly of the brethren. So like, that right there, the fact that, like you said, I go through I go through something. But it's different when I know somebody else has been through it and I've seen them come out of it. Now I know I got somebody to help me even in what I'm going through. Or I have or it could be just something that the pastor or the minister may say over the pulpit that just one word from God will change your whole situation.
Yeah.
So like you got you got that one word that you can stand on, and then when you go and you fellowship with others, you know I'm gaining another family. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's just it's amazing to come with people with like spirits, like faith, stuff like that. It's an honor. It's an honor to go and fellowship, right?
Yeah.
And like I say, it matures you because it shows you how important it is to serve, to serve people, to love people, to
Yeah.
care and cherish, and also understanding the importance of the presence of God. You know,
Yeah.
we can have the presence of God at home, you know, as well as we should. But when you come in a congregation and worship with others, it's a difference.
That's it.
It's a difference. And um growing, like, you know, I like the fact that for a while I always said that when I always said before I step into whatever God called me to do, I didn't want to do it without my husband. So for a while, it was different because when you go and you used to being in church all the time, and you have somebody coming in that was not used to being in church all the time, um, for a while it was like, oh man, like I want him to come, but then I was like, is he feeling what I'm feeling? Like, or
Yeah.
and so then we had conversation, and I was just like, look, I don't want you to come for me. I want you to come for you. And the reason why I want you to come for you is because just so happen we don't make it. You ain't finna blame me, about your relationship with God. You know. So
Yeah.
I always wanted to make sure that a person has their own relationship with God. And so now being able as a family, having a whole family dynamic and worshiping together, that's wonderful. You know,
Oh yeah.
and not being separated, in worshiping, coming together and worshiping. It's wonderful, and it sets the tone for your week,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah. I want to bring this up what you said. I won't complain no more about my childhood, about growing up in church. We grew up in church, but
Please
it wasn't
don't, 'cause I did.
it wasn't like you.
Baby, we did.
We
Listen, I
we
did a lot.
I remember we go to school Monday through Friday, and Saturday evening I'm crying because I'm like, man, we're gonna be in church all day,
Man,
all day.
went to church, and then they cut it off, so it was like, okay, well then no Mondays, we free, no Thursday, no Friday, but you still had the 2 services on Sunday,
Oh yeah,
so you tired, and then a lot of it, and then it broke down to where it was like fourth Sundays, it was youth Sunday, and it was good, it was successful, but I think it started being more routinely, and I think that's what kind of got the most, that's what kind of bothered, I would say, me the most, because it was starting to be more out of routine. And so when the transition happened, you know, we had a talk, and we was just like, look, we just gonna move whenever God say move. We only just gonna do, just Sunday and Wednesday, whatever, and just do that. And then whenever God say, hey, let's have a special service or something like that, we'll do it. But excuse me, I think, back then, that's all we knew. That's all the older people knew,
Yeah.
was church. And don't get me wrong, I don't have no problem with it, because church saved our lives.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we can, we know what to do. We can operate, and things like that. But not in this world we living in now.
Yeah.
Some of that ain't gonna shake.
That's it. That's like, I look back, my mom was alive, and, she gonna bring us to church.
Right.
I mean, that station wagon, all you see is heads in the back.
Come on.
We going to church. But, looking at that now, and it's like, she was doing the best she could.
The best she could.
You
That's
know,
right.
You look at that, and it's like, if anything else, my kids need to be in church.
That's right.
And I went to church so much, and it's like, when she passed away, that was my excuse to run from church.
That's real
You-
right there.
It was like, man, at first it was like I couldn't wait. When I turned 18, I'm
Mm-hmm.
go do my own thing.
Right. I said that too.
But, God called her early, and I had the excuse early. For years, just no church. So I go
Yeah.
do this and I go do that, and I'm getting into trouble after high school.
Uh-huh.
Different little things, but not knowing I'd be running back to God.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
That's how it is, because the Bible says you train up child up the way it should go, and if it departed, they'll come back. So I mean, I do believe that parents should bring their children back to church, but I believe the parents need to come back to church.
yes,
Is what I'm saying. Like, you can be in the church but not be in the church, if it
Yep.
makes sense.
oh yeah,
Like, I think adults need to have a true passion and desire for God, and display and show forth what it means to be a disciple in front of their children.
yeah,
So that their children will want to have a desire to do it or whatever and stuff like that. Because nowadays you got this thing they calling gentle parenting. So it's parenting is different now.
oh yeah,
But you got some of us that still hardcore. Like, oh no, you gonna get your butt up, you gonna come to church. Like how we was raised. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really the church is an organism that is needed. It's really needed, but it's needed for those who want to allow it to be needed for them, if it makes sense. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Now it's kind of where the world is going. People got a choice now. It ain't no, back in the day you ain't had no choice.
no,
You ain't had no choice, but now people got a choice. Pandemic happened. It gave people a reason to not come in the building no more. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? It can't, and
Yep.
God did his thing, whatever, and he's still doing it. But now, it's just like people just choose to do whatever they want to do. Sometimes people don't even believe in submission anymore since the pandemic, and stuff like that. So what's your take on it?
I look at it like this when it comes to church, because I'm not a big fan of social media.
Uh-huh.
There's so much negativity,
Uh-huh.
and when it comes to the church,
Uh-huh.
you don't see many comments when you're advertising. It's a service.
Absolutely.
You don't see advertisement when somebody coming to do worship.
Are you saying
You
something?
you don't see a lot of advertisement when it's a kids event,
That's
anything
right.
like that.
You don't.
But as soon as somebody mess up,
Uh-huh.
and it's somebody from the church, That
Hey,
line
yep.
of comments
Absolutely.
is like a scroll. And that's a
Absolutely.
shame.
It's a shame.
It's sad. And this is how I feel when it comes to the church. Some people don't go to church because they want to say, oh, ain't no church out there.
Uh-huh.
How about you come and challenge yourself to make a difference in the church?
Come on. Say that again
You
and
know,
a little louder, please.
Challenge yourself to come
That's
and make a
good.
difference in the church.
That's it.
And it's like the time when Katie was like, just like, you gonna come? Like, you gonna come? And I got to a place to where it's like, I'm gonna come, but not just come, but I'm gonna open my heart.
Absolutely.
Because whatever word is there, I know it got to be for me.
Absolutely.
And not only if you just come to challenge yourself to be a difference, the church will make a difference in you.
Absolutely.
And that's when you become open, you get that connection. You see what's going on. It's not about pointing out the wrongs.
That's
I
right.
mean, remember, if you're going to look at somebody else's toothpick, remember about the beam in your own eye.
Come on.
So, just challenge yourself to come to church before you want to point out the church.
Right.
Try to be
Right.
the difference.
Right.
Do something else besides joining with the world with the comments.
Absolutely.
How about make a difference in the church by
well,
wanting to be different yourself?
because nowadays we got the saints joining in. It's not really a lot of people being set apart anymore. Now you got some of the saints coming in with the comments. You see what I'm saying? So it sometimes it makes some of those that should come in and be the difference. Now the people that probably desire to want to be the difference, they looking like, well, what you doing that's so different that that I ain't already doing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
we gotta portray difference. We got to be the ones. You know.
Yeah. And I look at it like this: when you got saints that's like that, then what that foundation is like?
Uh-huh.
Where they're truly rooted.
Mhm.
Are they really in the word like they supposed to be?
Good.
Are they really getting the lessons out of these scriptures? Are they really listening to the word that's being preached on Wednesdays and Sundays?
Right.
Or I'm just there to say, hey, I'm here. This is what we do on occasion. Because people can go to church Sunday and Wednesday and still not get a lick
You
of the
hear
word.
me? Be a seat filler,
That's it.
and that's all you doing.
But when you truly go and apply
Mhm.
and study that word at home,
That's
like the
right.
preacher say himself, don't just take my word for
Come
it.
on.
Go home and study it yourself.
That's right.
You'll read the same thing I'm preaching to you today.
Absolutely.
So when you do that, that's when you see the difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I applaud you because you don't see a lot of men, and I'm gonna say this, a lot of black men, that say, okay, I'ma come. Your wife asked you to come, and you said, I'ma come, but not only am I gonna come, but I'ma come and I'ma work. I'ma come and be the difference. I'ma come and give my all and do. I'm not just gonna sit there, watch, okay, well, I'm sitting here thinking about football while we in church. No, or thinking about what I could be doing. Because people do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we be in the place of worship and our minds and our intellect, our thoughts are somewhere else different. And I think that's why sometimes we miss when the word applies to us,
Yep.
or whatever. Or someone just say, oh, well, they just talking to such and such this Sunday. So I ain't got to hear what they saying, but lo and behold, soon as you get out the door or Monday, something might happen, might hit you, and that same word that you missed was your medicine or was what you needed at that moment, at that
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I applaud you. I do. And I believe I told the church Wednesday, I believe God is getting ready. Not getting ready. He is. He's raising up men in this hour. He's raising up men to come forth and be bold. And we
Yeah.
as women, we got to back up. We got to make sure that we're backing up our husbands, and stand beside them and let them know, look, you are a mighty man of God. You know, you are a mighty man of valor. You
Yeah.
know, and just keep pushing them. You know, keep pushing them to where God has called them to be, because there's a lot of broken men.
Oh
There's
yeah.
there's a lot of men that are dealing with issues even from their childhood, or even just even in adulthood. Some can't handle
Yeah.
um life, like they say, life be life. And so some can and some can't. And so um they're looking for answers, but sometimes, like I said, we don't have the exact examples. And then sometimes a lot of men and even women um have trust issues. So it's hard for them to trust, you know, to see, hey, can I open up to you or whatever and stuff like that to get the help. And so I believe that God is raising up godly men to be able to help others in this hour. I,
Oh
I
yeah.
really do.
Oh yeah. I believe it, and that's what I'm believing, because it's like, even like me going to church, and it's like being in the kids ministry. It's like,
Mhm.
I see a lot of women.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of men.
Yeah.
And it's guys in there, but it's like certain stuff I see the women do. I
Absolutely.
don't see the men do.
That's right.
So it's like, okay, okay. I'm looking at it, and the
Yeah.
guys like, pay attention to stuff like that.
Right.
And that's like, when we were asked to work at the school,
Mhm.
it wasn't even about how much you get paid. It wasn't about how many kids I'm gonna have.
Right.
The biggest thing stuck out to me was we have a lot of women. We got one man,
Mm.
one man.
Wow.
So we need men. We need men examples.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
need examples of men here. That's what sold me. So, my thing is, I just want to be the man example.
Yes.
And I applaud women, because
Yeah.
women, even the married women as well, like
Yeah.
they take that role
Yeah.
and cover the men role
That's right.
best as they can,
That's right.
because that's all that's there.
Yeah.
And here we are as men, not knowing who we are, dealing with the things we deal with,
Mhm.
and we not there because we too busy carrying what we've been carrying,
Yeah.
making excuses,
Mhm.
you know, and it's like, here are the women, like, they doing that thing
Yeah.
nonstop,
Yeah.
like, whether you there or not, I'm showing up.
Right.
And I think it's even hard too for women, like, and I'm not saying for me, but it's like when a man finally get in place, they so used
Yeah.
to covering everything,
Absolutely.
and it takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But I truly, I'm believing for men to step up, you know, in areas where you see a lot of women when it comes to ministry. I say even worship,
Yeah. Absolutely.
prayer,
Absolutely.
it's just men, we got to step up.
Absolutely.
We gotta take those roles. And I share this because it's like, I notice a difference in my home.
Mhm.
Like when I finally surrendered,
Yeah.
and I started going to church, and I started serving.
Yeah.
Like, we have 3 kids, and it's like when I started being that example, like, all my kids got saved.
My God.
They all got baptized.
Come on.
Just being an example,
Be an example. That's
it,
it.
it makes a difference.
It does. It really makes a difference. Oh my goodness. It does. It really does. We had a service, and a father got filled with the Holy Ghost, and right after that, the son got filled with the Holy Ghost, and it's just amazing. It's amazing what God is doing. I mean, it's that whole family dynamic. God is doing something with families. Sunday, that's right. Yesterday, um, Pastor Chris had all the families, or the parents, lay hands on their children and pray
Yeah.
over them. And I didn't realize it. I pray over my kids all the time, but yesterday it was a little different. Um, my baby, she been under the weather, and so I prayed for Carly yesterday at church, and I laid hands on her, and I spoke into her life. And my baby did something that I never just, I guess it just never dawned on me. She grabbed my hand. I was getting ready to turn around when I got through. She grabbed my hand and she said, "Mommy, I love you. Give me some love." So, and then she told me, thank you so
Yeah.
much. And I was like, I'm thinking this something we do. I'm like, I do this. I speak over you. But I guess just at
Yeah.
that moment meant so much. And I guess to just really, she really just was actually being still too, like,
Yeah.
and hearing what I was speaking. I was speaking to her future. I was speaking to, her present, her future, and stuff. And so it just, I guess it just, she felt it. And so that matters because, like, my mom, she calls my mom every morning before she goes to school, and they speak, and my mom will say, "What's on your life today, Carly?" And she'll say, "The Father's favor is on my life every day." And so, that little stuff right there, like going, pleading the blood, putting oil, lay hands, put oil over them. Um, I'm big, y'all. I'm big on oiling these pillowcases. Baby, I will oil up that bed, the pillowcases, real quick. Oh, we gonna get this spirit up out of here. You know what I'm
You
saying?
get that spirit out, you ain't got to worry about dry scalp either.
Listen, I am, and then I got now. It's funny you said, cause now the Lord showed me. He said, "Now I want how like you oil your scalp.
Hmm.
I want you to go and do that to your husband." And I didn't realize. Now it's like he expected. It's like I said, "Oh, cause we gonna grow in the name of Jesus." Like I said, cause when you go to Adam, he gonna be like, "Ooh, you oily, you good." And I and now every night, no lie, every night I get that oil, and I pray over him, and I oil his head up, and he be ready, he be happy. I be like, "Look, we gon' hey, I don't know. It's just Holy Spirit just led me to start doing it. He didn't ask me to do it. He was sitting on the couch one night, and like I say, Holy Spirit told me, just like you oil your scalp, go oil your husband. And I said, oil his scalp. I said, he ain't got no hair. And then I said, okay, well, I'm finna go ahead and do it. And I did
Yeah.
it. And he's like, oh, that just feels so good. And I'm like, wow, like this the small things. You don't realize how important the small things is with your family. Just the
It
little
is.
things,
Oh yeah.
even with your children, your wife, your husband. It's amazing. And it brings you closer. Just even, just the little stuff that, because they give you more stuff to communicate about. You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh yeah.
little stuff. So,
That's like our youngest son, Adam
Uh-huh.
Jr. Oh man, that boy, I know God got stuff for him. That boy would tell you what's on his heart
yeah,
and mind in a second.
I love it.
I mean, I remember when I wasn't going to church, and I remember like I used to come home, don't play with him, nothing for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I remember he was getting ready to come play with me. He just stopped
Uh-huh.
like yeah, I was gonna ask you if you want to come play with me, but I guess you work so much and you getting old now, like you too tired to come play now.
They pay attention, man.
Oh yeah,
They pay
That-
attention.
and he'll say stuff like that, and and it's like, let's say even our bedtime, we putting them to bed, and
Yeah.
it's like we can't leave out of that room until we all pray. We all
I
gotta pray
love
our own little
it.
special prayer, and it's just like go to bed. Like no, you gotta Daddy, you gotta say your prayer too. Mama said
Yeah.
hers. You gotta come say yours.
Right.
And it's just like, God.
Those
You
little
know,
moments
but-
matter.
Oh yeah.
They matter.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing. Like he watching, he's seeing that you are busy, and he feel like you so busy that you can't spend time to play with him. Just imagine.
Oh, that stuck me.
Because if the baby saying that, imagine what the rest of them feel. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
And imagine what Katie was feeling. Like,
She told
you know
me.
what I'm saying? It's real. Yeah. I know.
when I finally got the courage to say how you been feeling about all this, oh, she told me.
I bet she let you have it too, didn't
Oh,
she?
she let me have it. You heard how my voice changed? She let me have it.
Oh, Lord. Okay, we got 2 more questions, and we're gonna get up out of here. I
All
have
right.
truly enjoyed this.
Glad to be here.
As a barber, who gets to service so many different people in our city? Do you feel that gives you more opportunities to share Christ with others?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said that. I ain't gonna put his name out there, but Mr. Producer.
Mr. Producer, shout out.
You know, I remember this conversation a while back, and I remember we had this talk about, ministry,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Man, do you know, like, what God is doing for you in that shop?" He's like, "Do you know, like, the heads you over, like, you touching everybody's head with your
My
hands when
God.
you're in that shop? You could be praying over them,
Just
praying for 'em."
anointed.
And I'm just like, this,
Yeah.
when I first got licensed, it's just like, yeah. And like, even to this day, like, people don't know that I be praying over. I mean, yeah, you getting it now.
Yeah.
But but what I love about the shop is like, in the specific shop where we are,
Mhm.
it's private setting. It's not nothing all lined out in public.
Yeah.
People can come in, they can be themselves.
Yeah.
They can rest. They can vent. They give us
Yeah.
all that information,
Right.
and we can give that to God. And we like, God, anything you want me to say to him, encourage him, to cover him.
Yeah.
Do I need to pray for him? What is it you want me to do? And that's me in the middle of the service. It's it's funny. It's like my sister say. It go down in the booth.
Oh yeah.
It's
Baby.
ministry in the booth.
Oh yeah.
So-
y'all be doing y'all thing up enough.
She be doing it.
Ooh.
And
She do. I ain't lying.
but I like
Be
it
laying
because
people out.
everybody done got used to it. Even people in my chair, like, we be in the middle of a conversation, and you hear them praying over there, and it's just, they get quiet and they look.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, was she praying over there? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Now they used to it. So,
yeah.
but I love it because it's just it's still a way for God to intervene for those
Absolutely.
in need. Not even knowing, a lot of times, the fruit that you get from it.
That's good.
Recent, I'm gonna share this. I got permission from him, so I'm gonna share it, but I ain't gonna say his name. I had a client,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a faithful client, and I used to cut him every week.
Mm-hmm.
Every week, like, he owned the money every week, but I noticed over some years, like, he started losing his hair.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought it was normal because people in his family, lose their hair. And I remember cutting his hair one time, and it's like, when I cut it, I said, hey, like, bro, your hair, it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, whatever. Then the next time he came, it was even thinner.
Mm.
And he was like, man, this run in the family. I said, it might run in the family, but it don't run that fast.
Come on.
Because, like, when people are going bald,
Mm-hmm.
it's subtle. But, like, this was so gradual. It's like what I love about what we do at the shop, your hair lets you know, like, if something's going on in your body.
Mm.
Like, people don't know that, but we learn that like we see a difference in your hair. It could be signs of stress, you know,
Right.
anxiety, things going on, and it's
Right.
and that's indicators for us. And so, like it got to the point with him, like I bald his head, and like it got so bad he even lost his eyebrows.
Mm.
And like after that happened, I haven't talked to him for about over a year.
Mhm.
And recent, he finally started getting back with me, and he finally shared and opened up with me about some things. And
Mhm.
not knowing all these years, we cut his hair, we joke, we talk,
Yeah.
but that opportunity came. The opportunity came to where like he really started sharing his life to me,
Mhm.
and I got a chance to minister to him. And like he started getting counseling, you know, he started doing some better things. Like he stopped working and everything for a long time.
Mhm.
And God worked miracles because it's like, I mean, like when I seen him, like there was no hair on his head, no hair on his eyebrows, and like
Mm.
now today, like I'm cutting his hair again.
Come on.
You know, his hair grew back.
Come
And
on.
and what's so crazy is recent, and it's like, and it's with anybody on any job.
Uh-huh.
If you treat people right,
Absolutely.
you never know what you would get. Like, don't treat them
right.
right with a motive to expect something, but just treating them right out of your heart
Yes.
to please God.
Absolutely.
So, and I say that because he
Right.
gave me, like, out of the blue, recent. He came in with a card.
Mhm.
And I was like, what's this? You know, he's like, you know, I got you something. You know, don't read it. Wait till I leave. And like, I was like, okay. And he was like, it's pretty long. I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
So now I want to read it.
Right.
But the whole day I worked, I always looked at the card and I said, I ain't going to read it yet.
Uh-huh.
So I waited till I got home and I read it.
Uh-huh.
And when I read it, like I was crying because he shared like from the beginning, like he let me know like when I first started cutting his hair, like I didn't even know his grandma died.
Wow.
And just that first time cutting his hair, like I made an impression on him to come back.
My God.
And then ever
First
since
impression.
he was coming back ever since. And he was like, you know, I've never been the type of person to talk to people, never been the type to open up. And he was like literally, and this how it is in the shop. Like we're not just somebody that cuts hair. We're not just somebody that's a barber or a stylist,
Right.
cosmetologist.
Right.
Like we're more than that in one because he calls me his unlicensed therapist.
Come on.
All these years, I'm his unlicensed therapist.
Wow.
All these years, and that's what kept him going.
Come on.
So I mean, he coming back to the shop now. He got his job. Like he's getting back on track.
That's wonderful.
So, and that's just one of many, you know.
Right.
So I'm just thankful to get that kind of feedback because that
Right.
motivated me even more to just be like, hey, I wanna this every time somebody come in the chair, this is how I wanna be. I wanna be
Yes.
top notch on my impression.
I love
I
it.
wanna make that difference.
I love it.
So
And you definitely doing it. You definitely doing it. Because anybody can give my son can make a difference to my son. Listen, I love my baby. Let me tell you, anybody that can cut a child's hair. I think Carter was one, and that was the most. I was so scared. I was scared. That's been 10 years ago.
I still got pictures when he used to hold them Hot Wheels in his hand.
Oh yeah, because Carter had a mohawk, y'all, so his hair would only grow like right up in the middle, and it was, I mean, but
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, I know, and to see where you got him now, like it's amazing.
It's crazy. I remember too, even like I remember the time where I used to cut his hair and it come to this time of year, like right now.
And
And like I remember 2 years straight, Christmas time, he was in the hospital.
3.
So it was 3.
It was 3. He had RSV every year.
I remember
for 3
that.
years straight, and we would have Christmas in the hospital.
I remember that.
Absolutely.
I remember that. I felt so bad for him one year. I remember buying him that basketball goal.
I remember
And
that.
Chris used to always say, like, man, he's still playing on that goal.
Yeah, cause we had just made it home one year, and I'll never forget, you came to the house, and I don't know, I was so sentimental, I guess cause we had just made it on Christmas Day, and I was like, Lord, but ever since then, my baby, he, Christmas is special to us,
Oh, yeah.
because of
yeah.
that, but, oh man, yeah, 3 years straight.
That's what I love about this shop. It's just the talks. It make me remember a lot of things when people lives. A lot of different stories.
Yeah,
A lot of encouragement. A lot of times me encouraging them.
absolutely.
Just different little things. So and that's what I love. Just that one-on-one time with somebody.
Yes,
So
that's what people need. That's really what people need. So we're gonna get ready to end it. But Adam, before we end it, I want you to encourage the fathers out there who may be overwhelmed with wearing so many different hats. Even if it's not fathers, just men in general. I want you to encourage and even women, just encourage everybody. Encourage them. You can pray for them, and hey, let them know that they can keep going. Even though you
Yeah.
got different hats.
I would say, when it comes to many hats and things like that, you don't get caught up in busyness. I heard a person once say that busy is the devil.
Mm.
And
Mm.
and I'm saying that because it's like you don't want to get caught up in those things and let that take over your life.
Yeah.
I would encourage anyone, when it comes to having many hats, different things that you do, challenge yourself to, spend that time with God first.
Yeah.
You'll find your balance in God. We make many plans, but let God direct your path.
Absolutely.
So I just encourage y'all, give it all to God, let him direct your path, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. You looking at one right now that surrendered, gave it all to God, not knowing like what's gonna happen next. I remember even sharing with Katie, like, all right, this my first real week. Like, what I'm gonna make. But
Right.
I mean, here I am, went to this full time, and like we are still like in all like, wow, like I can't believe I'm making this much now just
Come
by
on.
being obedient.
Come on.
So, man, just
Obedience brings abundance.
come on. So just, man, truly open your heart, surrender to God, give that time to him. Every
Absolutely.
breath we breathe, it's on borrowed time.
Come on.
So let's use that to give it back.
Come on.
So that's my encouragement.
I love it. I love it. Listen, I pray you guys were inspired and we were able to help you tonight. This was amazing. Um, I'm excited. I was excited to have him on. Because Adam's not one to really get in front of the camera, but he did his thing tonight, and I'm proud of
I
you.
appreciate it. If I have to, I will.
Absolutely, absolutely.
so
Well, it could be maybe God getting you ready to start getting in front. You just don't know. So thank you, but
Oh.
thank you for being a part.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie, for allowing him to be a part as well. And tell your children I said thank you as well, because there's time away from the family. So listen, you guys, I appreciate you joining and tuning in tonight. We will be back on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So y'all be blessed, and don't forget, make sure that you put in the comments, I'm chatting with Charity. Make sure you share, make sure you like, and make sure you tell everybody about it. Let them know to join us every Tuesday at 6:30, and be on the lookout for the next giveaway. All right. So I love you. Thanks for joining the chat room tonight. And you guys have a wonderful week. Have a good one.